They deny my application. I have to leave by August the 3rd. They deported me, they kicking me out, and they breaking my family apart. They don't care that he said this country 3 times.
More than 20 years ago, Alejandra Juarez migrated to the United States from Mexico. She eventually got married to a Marine and Iraq War veteran. Together, they had 2 daughters, Pamela and Estela, but Juarez was undocumented. And under former President Trump's zero-tolerance policy, she was given deportation orders. It didn't matter that her husband served this country and was even a Trump supporter in 2016. It didn't matter that her kids, like her husband, were U.S. citizens. It didn't matter that she didn't have a criminal record, a point she says officials acknowledged when they told her she was being deported. And so in August of 2018, Juarez was forced to leave her husband and her daughters. The girls were 16 and 8 at the time. Eventually, Estela, the younger daughter, would join her mom in Mexico for nearly a year and a half, but returned to Florida in early 2020. Juarez said her husband traveled frequently for work, and Estela was just too young to take care of herself. For 3 long years, the family fought to be reunited. Estela even read a letter to Trump at last year's Democratic National Convention, describing how being separated from her mom affected her family. Florida Congressman Darren Soto also fought on behalf of the family, petitioning for their reunion and introducing legislation to protect military families facing deportation. When President Biden took office, he and Estela petitioned the new administration too, which agreed to review Juarez's case. At the beginning of this month, the Juarez family got the news they had waited years for. Alejandra was granted humanitarian parole, allowing her to come back to the States. Here they are, on the day before Mother's Day, finally reunited.
This is what healing looks like. This is what this president is doing, healing the country. Thank you, President Biden. God bless you. Thank you.
Alejandra Juarez and her daughter Estela join me now. It is so good to see you both. It is so good to see you together. Alejandra, I know it has only been a few days since you have been back with your family in the States. How are you? How does this all feel?
We are really, really happy to, that we are together again. And we still can't believe it. I still can't believe it. I still haven't digested or grasped it, and it just feels like it still feels like I'm dreaming.
I can only imagine. Estela, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
I am good, but I am not the one who is finally home with my mom. I wonder how you are processing all of this.
Well, I'm very happy that my mom is back, and it was amazing that she was able to come back the day before Mother's Day so she could spend with me, my family.
Alejandra, in the last 3 years, your eldest daughter graduated from high school. Estela is now a preteen. What was it like to be in Mexico for those years and missing? I mean, I'm a mom, so many of those big moments and those small moments. What was your motivation to keep fighting to come home?
It was so hard. It was, I guess, the most painful moment that I have gone through, and I probably will go through. After this, nothing is going to be harder than that.
Absolutely. Estela, you were away from your dad and from your sister. And then when you went back to Florida, you were away from your mom. I mean, how have these years been for you?
Well, it was hard because my mom missed a lot of years of me and my sister growing up, and all of the Mother's Days and all of the special moments that I don't think a family should have to go through or should miss.
Yeah, Estela, you're releasing a picture book next year about your story called Until Someone Listens. Tell us about that.
Well, the book was sort of my letters, my words that I was writing, and I never thought it would turn out to a book. It was amazing that I had this opportunity.
I want to bring in Florida Congressman Darren Soto, who helped petition the Biden administration to reunite the Juarez family. Congressman, there are so many families like the Juarez families that are waiting to be reunited, going back before the Trump era. Where do things stand for other families like Estela's and like Alejandra's?
Well, for many years, we had humanitarian parole for these types of unjust situations, whether it was Republican or Democratic presidents. And then under Trump, with the zero tolerance policy, that all went away. So with President Biden coming into office, we're restoring which is really an American value, which is in these unjust situations, there should be some consideration made. However, this is only temporary. It's a year long. It could be given extension. So we really need to pass either the U.S. Citizenship Act and the Protect Patriot Spouses Act to be able to help out the Juarez family and so many other military families across our nation.
Well, Alejandra, I wanted to ask you about just that, because while you are now back with your girls, with your husband, living with them in Florida, I mean, this is not a permanent solution. So given all that you have been through, do you feel like you can finally relax, or do you feel like you are still waiting for that more permanent solution?
Well, the fight is not over. It's far from over. Unfortunately, this is not a permanent solution. Congressmen must pass a pathway to citizenship to keep families like me together. If Congress and the White House do not take the urgent steps, my family remains at the risk of being separated again. I can't put my kids through this. My body won't take it. Their psychological, physical state of mind won't take it. We need the Congress and the White House to help us. We need them to act right now. This is the time. We have the right president, the right congressman. We have the Senate. If it's not now, I don't know when it's going to be honest with you.
Yeah, that same sense of urgency I heard from a mom who was recently reunited with her family after being separated from them at the border a few years ago. That same sense that it is time for action. Congressman, you've introduced a bill called the Protect Patriot Spouses Act. There are relief options for undocumented military spouses, such as parole in place, that are on a case-by-case basis. Why do you feel that there needs to be your legislation on top of that?
We need a permanent solution. The bill would allow for the fact that an immigrant family has a spouse that's a military member or veteran to be a factor that an immigration judge can consider in these immigration cases. And it would also allow for judges to have discretion under the totality of the circumstances for minor violations. Alejandra Juarez is an amazing member of our community, as is Estela, who has inspired the nation along with her sister Pamela. And we need to recognize the contributions they're making, as well as give our judges discretion. Without it, it'll be every year trying to get another year of humanitarian parole, and that's just not the way that the Juarez's should live, or any other military family.
Congressman, do you think your colleagues share your sense of urgency, share Alejandra's sense of urgency?
I do. We passed in the first 3 months the Dream and Promise Act, the Farm Workforce Modernization Act. Just today in the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, there was a motion to re-endorse the Protecting Patriot Spouses Act, a bill we endorsed last term. We're hoping that we could get it into either a reconciliation package or pass outright in a comprehensive immigration reform. We're getting closer on U.S. Citizenship Act. I happen to be the whip of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, and it's my job, along with Congresswoman Sanchez, to whip votes for the comprehensive reform, which would also address both Alejandra's case and so many others across the nation. So whether through the comprehensive reform or some reconciliation actions in the Senate, we need to get this done this year to help over 10 million Americans in everything other than the law. And that means these reforms are absolutely necessary.
Alejandra, we very often talk about the 11 million or so undocumented immigrants who are living in the United States. I think a lot of people, for them, it sounds like a number. For you, it is just the reality of your day-to-day life, including what you have just been through in these past few years. When you are talking to people in Washington, when you are talking to the leaders who actually have the power to deliver real reform, what is it that you want to understand about the way in which your life, Pamela's life, Estela's life, have all interacted with this system, how it has impacted you and your family?
You know, what my family went through, what we went through, it was unnecessary, inhumane, and honestly, I didn't see the purpose of it. I think that most of the immigrants, we want the same thing the American wants. We just want to have a family, work hard, you know, and live a happy life. We are not here to harm anyone. We love this country. I love this country. I mean, this is my country, and I know to many immigrants, this is their country. Unfortunately, we weren't fortunate enough to be born here, but we love it. We love it, and we just want the chance to remain here and to raise our kids, you know, in a way where they will serve the Americans. You know, my kids are going to be the future doctors, lawyers, chiropractors, and you know, if you separate families, those kids are going to become broken, and they won't function. So they try, you know, punish us for something that we did a long time ago when they really are punishing our kids. And I think it's not good for the country. It doesn't align with the values of America, the American that I knew, the American that I know now, that I'm starting to see that it's coming to become again. So, you know, we just want a chance. And I'm deeply, deeply, deeply want to ask the Congress and the White House to act, to please help me fix my situation permanently. We want to remain here, and we just want to work. We just want to work and be a proactive citizens. That's all we want. We just want a chance.
Estela, you have been using your voice for as long as we've all been watching this story. Tell us, you get the last word here. What is it you want people in Washington to know?
Well, first I want to say thank you for bringing my mom back, but there's still so many other cases like my family's that don't deserve to be separated. So like I said, like my mom said, the work is far from done because my mom and including myself know a lot of people who their cases are extraordinary and they didn't deserve what happened to them.
All right, Alejandra, Estela, Congressman Soto, thank you all for your